Yo, yo, yo. You are now tuned in to the Off the Porch podcast with the podcast point guard, Derek Lamont. Coming off them screens, hitting them threes, giving you all the information that you need. Coming back off them screens, leading you to that back door to that information as only I can. First episode, like I said, first episode. Some people from like the C3s, Panther Prime, they know me as D from Sanford. If you from Spotify and you ever checked out my audio, D from Sanford, North Carolina, no. Podcast point guard, Derek Lamont. All right. So it's been a tumultuous, maybe a relieving week to some. But the Carolina Panthers are coming into the day against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Frank Reichless. I was hoping to be fitterless, but we're Frank Reichless, okay? We're going to take it. Granddaddy Frank went out the door after another anemic performance against the Tennessee Titans last week. I wish Frank Reich the best. I wish I could have said more in a better way about it, but it would seem like it was a continuation, a simple continuation of what he did with the Indianapolis Colts last year, getting fired in the halfway point of the season. If not mistaken, the first coach to be fired in the middle of the season in back-to-back years. But Frank, as bad as I feel sorry for you, I don't feel sorry for you because you about to rack up about like 60 M's like for the next 4 or 5 years. You all right, bro. I wish somebody would overinflate me for a job that was over my head and guarantee me the money because I would be on it. But seriously, as we look at it right now, the Carolina Panthers sit at 1-10. We're going to say it one more time. They 1-10. Ain't no more of this. It ain't no more of that. We ain't dabbing no more. We not dabbing no more. At least not right now. We not dabbing. Loss after loss. Bryce sacked over 30 sometimes. And David Tupper has the nerve to come out his mouth like, hey, we might be 1-10. But I brought Beyonce to the city, baby. He gave y'all Beyonce. He gave y'all Charlotte FC. And he gave you a bunch of bad decisions that was set under the guise of Scott Fitter, bad GM, puppet master. Sorry, wrong choice of words. Puppet to the ultimate puppet master, David Tupper. I remember Dave and Rashad with PNP. They was talking about basically possibly doing a march on Mint. Didn't happen at the time. I think it's supposed to be something more virtual. I'm going to be tuning in to their pod to find out what was going on with that. I'm not totally and 100% complete on how they rearranged that, but it almost seems like it's a time that we might need to be marching. That's just all I'm going to say to it. Now, when we go into the timeline now, we don't really want to harp on too much of the negative, but I will say this. You're getting J.C. Horn back. You're getting Yetur Gross-Matos back. You're getting Jeremy Chin back. It seems like a beautiful time, doesn't it? Seems like a great time. I would just have to say that. And that's for a defense who was like fluctuating between 13 and 10. Somewhere in that area. With no offensive production to help support them like they were supporting the offense. Now you're giving them more pieces back. I really do feel like when we see today, we're going to have a vertical blocking scheme almost similar like we had last year, where Icky was an exceptional tackle, where Bozeman was a great center. And we're going to see if we can get any continuity with them and Taylor Moton. And if we can give Bryce a little bit of time, maybe we can get some receivers with some separation. At least I'm looking for the separation, to be quite honest with you. I'm hoping for it. And I'm hoping with the change of block schemes and play call, even though the offense will be the same, I'm hoping that there's some things that will be tweaked, that we'll see a little bit more of Miles Sanders in a more productive light, and Chuba, who has been running strong. Despite not getting much offensive line push, or the numbers might not show it to the best degree, he has been getting push. He has been getting yards where he can find yards. I love effort. So I'm always going to shout out effort. There's no way we can't shout out the effort. As far as bouncing back just this year, what does bouncing back this year mean for us? Let's see what bouncing back this year means for us. Maybe 2, 3 more wins. Bouncing back, being competitive in every game we play in sounds pretty good to me. I like the ideals of that. Looking better than what we have been this year. And I know you're going to be like, D. If we score 17 points and win a game, we're doing better than what we did so far. If we score 10 points and possibly win the game, we did better than what we did the first 10, 11 games. If Bryce has a passing game for 200 or more yards with no turnovers and so forth, that was better than the first 10, 11 games. Basically what I'm saying, I'm gonna start walking off. I promise you. Well, basically what I'm saying is, as far as bouncing back, we all have to have our own expectations. And everybody has their own expectations. Some more elevated, some a little bit lower. Some people are highly optimistic. Some people are pessimistic. Some people don't know what they are. They're just sitting back and they're watching and they're waiting to see what it is. You know what I see? I see a team whose confidence got cracked early. And then injury after injury after injury after injury after injury decimated a team who had no confidence. The young quarterback was just the walking dead. He was a zombie. He didn't know what to do. And now we're sitting here, the opportunity where, believe it or not, mathematically, we are not out of the playoff hunt. We could win the division. Could. Now, for that to happen, I don't like being in situations where so-and-so has to lose this game, this cat has to lose this game, and everybody got to do this, hit to get you in. But what a bounce back for me is, we actually fight for it. Like we did last year under great old Uncle Stevie Wilkes. We fought. We tried to run through walls. We tried to step on anybody we possibly could. And we fell short on what? The last day of the season. We might not be as close as we did last year, but if we can even get remotely close, not even finish dead last in the division, maybe finish second in the division by a game and a half, we are on the process of bouncing back. There's no way around it. You can't convince me differently. When you take a team 1-10, 1-11, I don't even keep track no more. It's quite depressing. But when you take a team like that through that first half and a quarter, so 75% of the season, nothing. And then something drastic happens. A swift kick in the butt can turn some things around, make guys play that hadn't been playing. Well, and then when we get to that point, Brian Burns just a little more aggressive off that edge. Frankie Louvu start playing like Mama Louvu is back in the stands like it was against the Texans. Derek Brown starts wreaking even more havoc in the opposing team's backfield. That's how you bounce back. But today is the first day of that bounce back. And the reason why is because you have a winnable game. Just like last week was a winnable game. Frank wins last week. Frank's still here. Frank lost last week. Frank ain't here no more. All right. That's just the bottom. That's the truth. That's just what it is. It is what it is. Now, Chris Tabor, special teams coach. A lot of people talk about, hey, Jim Harbaugh was a special teams coach. I'm not looking for Jim Harbaugh. You know, they'll sit there and say, Steve Wilkes, leader of men, let him through it. I'm not looking for Steve Wilkes. I'm looking for Chris Tabor. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for Chris Tabor. Chris Tabor, special teams coach. He was there last year during that nice run that the Carolina Panthers, led by Uncle Stevie Wilkes. He knows that vibe. He knows that groove. He's an overly optimistic type of guy. He's a positive type of guy. He's a football type of guy. And the one thing that I love that he said is that he was going to let the offensive coordinator coordinate, the defensive coordinator coordinate. Boy, talk to me. You mean to tell me that the people are actually going to get to do the job they were hired to do? Well, shut the front door, Sam. Shut the front door. Off the Porch Podcast is standing here. That's what we wanted the whole time. That's all we wanted. That's what we wanted. Let your offensive coordinators cook. Let your defensive coordinators cook. And then, doggone, let's cook. How old Uncle Frankie Reich say? 3 phases of football. Three phases of football. Good defense. Productive offense. Efficient special teams. That's how you bounce back. I believe we'll bounce back. Tampa Bay is in absolute trouble. They got their main target, Mike Evans, gone. Baker Mayfield has a slight injury, and he's going to play. And I know he might try to get a little thing on us because of how last year went, but I'm just going to say this, and I might be eating my words. I'm not scared of Baker Mayfield. This might not be the same Panther team from last year, but I be daggum if this the same Buccaneer team from last year. Let's just call a spade, homie. Let's just call a spade. Off-season time come, I'm not going to give all that away, people. I'm not going to give all that away because for me to give that all away, that's future content for me to put on the thing. But I will say this. We're going to need a new GM. But also in saying the new GM, I do like it when Scotty Fitty gets his back against the wall and it gets cute because he thinks that he makes moves that kind of is going to save his job. Now, these moves might not save his job, but at least in the desperation, it can help us through the season. Big boy Deontay Brown. I don't know how much Bernie going to get. He just came back, but I'm looking to him to be a future staple of that offensive line before the season's over with. We bring in Gabe Jackson. Veteran guard, never known him to be a bum, never spoke of nobody saying he was a bum. Got a nice size, will put his hands on you. That's one of the other picks. They're like, hey, it might not take us to the promised land, but we can look a lot better than we did last week. Then we go on even further, and we got the Griffin boy. I think it's Shaq Griffin. I'm not going to say. I promise you, I'm not going to say what the first question that came to my head when I heard who was getting one of them Griffin boys. I'm going to stay respectful. But if you run into my son, he liable to snitch on me for what I said. But either way, these are all key additions. But the question I do have now for you people is Gabe Jackson, to my knowledge, he was a free agent all season, wasn't he? I'll wait. Shaq Griffin started off with the Texans, but he's been a free agent a couple of weeks, hasn't he? I'll wait. Let me sip that. Gabe, Shaq, Deontay were available. You had offensive line, you had secondary issues, you had all those issues, and you never thought, hey, let's bring Deontay back. Let's try Gabe. Let's see how Shaq can help us right now. Oh boy, happy days are here again. Jimmy Chin is back on the field. And we got J.C. Horn again. Happy days are here again. That's what we're talking about. That's what we're talking about. But, like I said, this is the first of many. First of many off the porch episodes. We don't just cover the Carolina Panthers, we cover the NFL. All right. We don't just cover NFL, we cover the NBA. We don't just cover NBA, we cover college football, college basketball, some baseball, a lot of collegiate sports. We're going to get into them high school sports too. We are here for the people. It all started with a dream. It's all been a vision. I procrastinated like most people did. I tried it on audio. I'm not leaving audio, but I'm coming to you now. Podcast point guard, Derek Lamont with the Off the Porch Podcast. We are here. We're going to learn soccer. We're going to learn hockey. There's probably going to be some lives where we're going to watch some games, get some insight from each other. It's coming. Just wait. And as we go on, I will bring in some of the dopest people to talk to, some of the most just creative people that I can come up with. But for this initial episode, to the question that was laid on the tape, yes, the Carolina Panthers can bounce back. And in my belief, the Carolina Panthers will bounce back. Shout out to Chris Taylor. Shout out to Deuce Staley. I hate to see you go. Shout out to Josh McCown. Now, before I get out of here, before I leave here, there's some important people that I got to give some flowers to. Okay? First of all, one of my biggest fans, Jamita Laree. We love you. Glad to have you a part of us. We're trying to do our thing. Alvin Peoples, you are an inspirational dude. I swear to you. People's Choice Podcast, Wrestle Theory Podcast. You are already, in my opinion, a legend in this. You are already a GOAT in this. I just want to make you proud, bruh. This is a beautiful time. Baby brother Oscar Maldonado, you know what I'm saying? The Murchison 3, K-Ron, A1 Robertson. Yo, you looking to digest good music? Yo, go to anywhere that you digest your music. Look up A1 Robertson. He's got all different types of hits. Just waiting for the right cat to hear him. Yo, he's next. Shout out to Ambitions. But most importantly, shout out to the C3 Panther Podcast, the Panther Prime Podcast, for giving me avenues to get takes and thoughts and things of that nature off my chest. And I can't be more than thankful, especially with the C3, Cody, Tony Dungy, CK, Greg, Muscle Marinara, that effing guy, Panther Pickle, Shot the Howler, all them guys. You got to have a G, baby. But either way you put it, all you guys have been wonderful. All of y'all have been great. I hope y'all enjoyed the episode. Smash the like, smash the share, subscribe. We're coming back. We're going to do this thing. 2024, the year coming off the porch, the year of the podcast point guard, the year of faith becoming fact, and fact being carried by nothing but blessings. Faith without works is dead. I love every single one of you. If nobody has told you today, I love you. If nobody has told you today that they care, I care. And if there was anything that you have dreamed of, thought of, wanted to do, wanted to be, today is no better time than to jump off the porch. We love you.